Good morning. It's Friday the 7th of March, so another weekly update for you. Fantastic week this week for golf. It feels like spring is really in the air. Lots of happy faces in the sun out playing golf. Golf course drying out really well, really nicely. So which is really positive. But we're almost a week of frost now, so a little bit frustrating for us as greenkeepers to not be able to get out there and do a course setup in front of that frost and have to wait for it to thaw. Course setup this morning. The boys been out and we've flat rate the bunkers. Nice. I love a flat rate bunker. It gives us an opportunity just to push a bit of sand around and so to sort of work on sand levels while you're raking at the same time. So flat rate bunkers this morning, full rake, so they're nice and prepared, ready for the weekend. We are out rolling greens. We're out rolling greens this morning, making it a two-man operation. We've got one rolling greens and the other one swishing behind. As you can see here, this isn't we're not too bad for dew up the top, so it's not quite as bad. But with the renovations we did, we are picking up quite a bit of sand. We're picking up quite a bit of sand off the roller, and it's spreading around. I mean, the ninth green down the bottom was very bad. Lots and lots of sand to swish in, but as we're getting up to the top of the course, there's less dew. It's not too bad. So you will see us over the next 2 to 3 weeks. Us early part of the week trying to perform as much as we can in perhaps in the afternoons in between golf, in dry conditions, so we're not pulling the sand up. It sort of makes it unachievable for one person to roll on a weekend, which is why we're getting it done this morning to prepare it for the weekend, so we can clear it up with all the sand as well. So yeah, get a roll in as close to the weekend as possible. Moving markers as well this morning. We're on a one-hole change week, so they were done on Wednesday. We also hand mowed greens on yesterday, so it's Thursday. Yesterday morning. It was nice. We've had no frost yesterday, which is Thursday, and Friday, which has been great, but we've been caught by quite heavy frost on Monday to Wednesday, stopping us getting out and doing things in the morning. Again, the hand mowers yesterday are picking up a little bit of sand, and you can sort of see them on the edges of the greens where it picks up on the rollers and things like that. So just spoken to the boys about we'll do our turns off the greens and things like that, try and keep them as clean as possible. And that's about it for course setups this week. As a team, we've spent a day and a half on the driving range. We've been out in the field doing a ball collect, and then we came inside the field and unplugged all the balls that were plugged in down and stuck in the turf in the range. So it was quite long going, actually. I think that's the shortest we've known the grass out in the field. So it took a long time because there was a lot of balls out there, and with the ball machine is now overflowing. So the reason we did that was we were starting to get a bit low at weekends, and a collect on a Friday wasn't necessarily getting through to Sunday afternoon, as we're getting longer days now, and we're worried about the range running out. So we went out in the field to get some more balls in the stock, and then unplug those balls from the driving range so they aren't lost forever. So yeah, as a team we spent about a day and a half labour out doing that, which was great. Yeah, the machine is now overflowing. It's never been overflowing. There were 6 buckets we couldn't get in the range machine. We've never had that before. So that's a real positive. That's fantastic. High labour task, obviously, for the whole team to be out for a day and a half doing that, but I suppose it's not too bad a task. It's good opportunity to take advantage of the frost to do that, and then it keeps that range ticking over nicely, and plenty of balls in the machine. Just something I'd like to add, which I potentially forgot to mention there, is that we are keen to get out and continue rolling and cutting, because that really helps really helps performance with closing the holes up and giving a nice surface to putt on. But it's just managing the sand which is being pulled up. So yeah, we could really do a drop of rain again. there was some forecast for early next week that looks to have disappeared, so we may well even be turning the irrigation system on next week and getting a bit of irrigation onto the greens, to really start washing the sand into and through the crown of the plant. We've put some time into moles and molehills this week. At the end of last week, we reset some traps and came in this week to successfully find that we had caught 3 or 4 over the weekend in prominent areas, such as 5 and 14, which was good because they were starting to get a bit carried away. And in quite a few areas of the site, we've gone on to put a bit of time into clearing them up as well. So, digging them up, putting the soil in the back of our vehicles just to really, really tidy the golf course up. And then that also gives us an indication of which ones are still active and where they are. And that helps us set traps and things like that to give us a better advantage to try and catch them. Once we've got it in the back of our trucks, we've taken the soil to our turf nursery. So this is left of 16, left of 6, the other side of the wood on 5. Over the last couple of years, we've been working on this to cut it down, get it down to and treat it and get it. And we cut it with our semi-rough mower, so we can use this as a turf nursery, which is great for having turf on site. It's native, and it's great for our projects of putting things on banks or anywhere we're going to have semi rough and above. So yeah, we'll replace all the turf that we've cut. We'll replace with native soil. So we've got our dump area's got quite a lot of nice soil up at 13 as well. So we'll use the molehills that we've got and that area at 13 to top up all of this turf nursery, and then seed into it. So it'll be a sort of a rotating system. By the time we get to the far side, this area that we've taken this year would have sort of reseeded and be a healthy sward, so we can start taking from it again. So following last week's soil and seed fertiliser around the 4th tees, that was prepping it for a job we were going to do this week, where we have introduced what's known as a hybrid AstroTurf matting. Now this AstroTurf matting lays on the top of the grass, and there's holes in the bottom of the mat as is displayed in the photo, and what that allows the grass to do is to grow through that AstroTurf matting. So it's a little bit similar way that football pitches and rugby pitches are these days, where they're part artificial. They're 95% grass but 5% artificial, so that the stitching from that artificial holds all the turf together. So if you think of a rugby scrum, if the roots aren't well set and deep and performing well, then as you push on that turf, it just pushes the turf out and creates mud everywhere. So that little bit of artificial holds everything together. So that is very much the idea of this, where it's a heavy wear and tear area, pinch point, where we get a lot of traffic around this tee and quite close to under these trees and things like that. So yeah, we're quite excited by this product. We're going to trial it in a few areas, see how we get on. But yes, as you can see from the photo here, the idea is that you put the AstroTurf, hybrid AstroTurf down, the grass grows through it, and you've got what looks like a nice natural grass path. With some of the spare roll we have left over, we've identified some of the other worst wear and tear areas where we've lost turf around some of the golf course. Path ends tends to be the typical area here, so between 11 and 12, strip the lost turf off here, returfed it, and then put the matting down, and also done the same as you walk off the 7th pathway as well. Just with these areas, what we've tried to do is countersink them into the ground. So we put these, so as we've returfed them, and they're small areas, we've just sunk the matting in a little bit, just to see how well a mower goes over these areas. Really, my worry with 4 is that where it sits on top of the turf, it's quite an expensive product, and then a mower goes over the top and catches it and rips it to pieces and starts, and that's obviously the start and the end for it. So as I said, this is a trial going forward. that we may use in many other areas. So we're just using it in a couple of different ways to see what's the best process to go forward, whether we can put it on the top of the turf and it'll be fine with mowers, or whether we do need to countersink it in to guarantee that it doesn't get caught by a mower, or we could even cut it a little bit shorter, because we really like our grass pathways here, and have been using a fairway mower to use them. So whether we could put the fairway mower up a little bit in height and keep it as a nice tight cut grass pathway on top of the matting. But yeah, as I said, exploring all avenues and testing it out as a trial period, using it in a couple of different ways. So yeah, very hopeful, looking forward to seeing the results of this. I mentioned a couple of weeks ago we were having some soil tests done for organic matter and nutrients. So we've had the results back from them, and then we're just going to link that to the practices we've done and the course maintenance that we did a couple of weeks ago, because that's what ultimately changes and affects of all this sort of levels. So what is organic matter? Organic matter is natural material from anything that was once living which builds up in the soil. So that can come from anywhere, such as leaves and any of that sort of thing that was once living, but primarily in greens, it's decaying plant material such as roots, leaves, stems, and then we often refer to it as thatch. Now, why does that matter? A proper balance of organic matter is essential for healthy turf. It influences soil structure, water infiltration, nutrient retention, and overall playing surface qualities. So having too much or too little can cause problems. So having too much organic matter or thatch, which is sort of shown in this example of a soil profile, causes soft, spongy surfaces. This affects ball roll and makes greens difficult to play. It means the drainage is going to be poor, so you get waterlogged greens, and they are very susceptible to disease. Rooting will be very, very shallow, so grass won't thrive in that environment, and yeah, the shallow roots will make it very vulnerable to drought and stress, and as I already mentioned, the increased disease risk. So there's excessive moisture and poor aeration, and that creates favourable conditions for diseases and causes loss of turf in that way as well. So the maintenance practices we did a couple of weeks ago, where we're aerating the turf and getting sand into that top profile of the soil, that is to either reduce thatch or maintain organic matter at an ideal level that we want to keep it at. That is also in conjunction with a good watering program, a good fertilizer program, and the regular aeration that we also do throughout the summer. Those practices provide underlying surfaces that allow you to have greens that perform well. So to put all that theory into practice and compare it to the results that we've got, if you look at the chart here, in 2019 up to 2021, we were increasing in organic matter levels. Now, once you start getting 10%, then that starts getting excessive and quite high. An ideal amount is 5%. So we're very, very happy with where we've got the greens to over the past few years, where we've done these practices. In the autumn, we've tended to hollow core, so we've taken a bit of material out and then replaced that with sand, and then in the autumn we solid tine and put the sand in. So one removes, the hollow coring removes and replaces to heavily reduce the amount of organic matter and thatch you have in there. And then the other one is designed to dilute, so you're just creating a space and a channel where sand sits in, and that allows oxygen to operate and break down thatch and stop it from building up. So now that we've got down to that level, that fills me with a lot of confidence that what we've done on the greens has been a real benefit and positive, and now I feel that we can just maintain at that level. So I'm hoping in September, what we're going to trial in September is just doing the same as we've done in February maintenance, where we're just going to solid tine and put the sand in just to dilute any thatch there. So we're maintaining it at a very similar level to that 5% that we've got down to, because that is a very, very, very ideal amount. As I said, it's a good that 5% is a great balance between having enough organic material to hold hold the roots and the grass together, and not and any, as I said, anything over 10% gets very excessive. So we're pleased with what we've done over the years, and we've got it to a level now where we feel like we can just maintain it rather than keep trying to reduce it. So yeah, that's a real benefit going forward, and we're looking forward to maintenance going forward, and the test results we get next year to see where we're at then when we've done the maintenance practices this year that we've done. That's all for this week, folks. There'll be no update next week as I'm off end of next week. So we'll do a 2-week recap in 2 weeks' time.